All right, y'all, today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to see for its local search, see for its city search if either of them, any of them, got BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we take declining boudoir photographers, make them the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Look at the pinned, pinned post, pinned video, home video, whatever, where we talk more about that. I focus on FSIC because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our intent spectrum here, way on the left highest intent, way on the right lowest intent. So if a boudoir photography business is rising, they're most likely bringing in everyone from this entire intent spectrum, from highest to lowest intent. And if we got a boudoir photography business that is falling, most likely we are missing chunks of people somewhere here on this intent spectrum. So here we focus on BSS, way on the left, the highest intent peeps. This is social search, Google search, searching for, boudoir photo shoot in my, in your city. And way over on the right, that's our sister brand. Got different profiles for that. Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. That's where we're talking about BLCS getting in front of the lowest intent people in our city, which are actually the largest volume of peeps. And right now we're currently only working with boudoir photographers spending more than $10,000 a month on boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. This one, a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, 0 slots. I mean, we're down to fast death here, because we know that approximately 80% of boudoir or of Google searches never go to page 2. They are page 1 only searches. So literally, it's approximately 80% of searches. That's obviously the bulk of the market. So the bulk of the market never even sees page 2. So yeah, not good to be there. 1 slot on page 1 is also not good enough. Because if there's 10 organic slots. If there's 9 other boudoir photographers, everyone's got a slot. That means a buyer's just clicking everyone's link, contacting everyone. That could be, 9 other competitors price shopping us, price comparing us. So 1 slot, we don't even look any different than anyone else. So 1 slot is simply not enough. And 0 1 slots on page 1 in Google is actually not normal. Extremely common, accepted, but actually not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So to have so few page 1 slots on Google is not normal. And the 2 deeper root causes causing this are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, everyone knows that. Over time, there's more and more boudoir photographers entering the market. It's because whenever anyone gets a new iPhone, they throw up their Google My Business profile, throw up a website. Now they compete in page 1 organic search with us with their website, saying that they do boudoir photo shoots. Also, if anyone gets a camera, now they're posting in the mom Facebook group saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Lowering prices, lower margins from everyone, and actually making it harder for all the sellers. So there's more sellers to the same number of buyers, makes it harder for all the sellers. And B, the false belief of page 1 equality. Dude, this is the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. This is, to believe page 1 equality is to believe, every boudoir photographer gets like 0 1 slots on page 1, and if you had 1 slot on page 1, then a new boudoir photographer came in, now they're on page 1, you got bumped down on page 2. It's kind of like, oh, that's how it is. That's how it is. And nobody's taking any effort to correct it. It's not normal to be kicked off of, to stay on page 2 and have 0 slots on page 1. It's not normal to have even 1 slot on page 1. It's been accepted that everyone gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1, and that's simply how it is. Incorrect. And I know it's incorrect because I went from 0 out of 1 slot, 0 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 for my desired keyword in 10 days. We'll see pictures of that in a few pics. So people accepting the false belief of page 1 equality, well, they accept that as true. #1 killer boudoir photography businesses from what I've seen. And we also know that a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So we're building up our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and page 1 equality, the false belief of page 1 equality. Think that there's nothing we can do. It's kind of like we believed it was true, we auto-accepted it, we didn't even question it, so we're kind of like mentally in a box, so we couldn't even punch through the box to see, oh, there is a solution out there. And thankfully, we have that solution. We have it because we invented it. We know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. It is exactly what it says. We're saturating social search with the highest buyer intent keywords for people who want to buy a boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we saturate social search with those keywords, what actually happens is there's kind of like the small little streams on the backside of the Andes Mountains that then flows into the large Amazon River, which is page one on Google. So if we successfully saturate social search, then it is, and if we keep saturating it, it's inevitable we'll eventually take as many slots on page Google as we want, depending on how much effort we want to put in. Now, what is amazing about SQ methodology is the only thing that I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight back against market saturation with relatively quick results. Obviously, the one thing, as always, is brand. I can fight back against market saturation, but dude, that takes 5 years, 10 years. We ain't got that time anymore. AI is coming, taking people's jobs. We literally do not have the time. We need something that gets faster results. Faster results. Give me the faster results. We ain't got time to build a brand. But also, SQ methodology helps us to build a brand faster and quicker than anyone else, any other method available elsewhere. So it's kind of a double bonus using SQ methodology. So here's how it fights back market saturation. Let's say we're in Seattle, Washington. There's a million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir. They're a boudoir photographer. Everyone's competing to rank page one on Google. So we crank up SQ methodology to the maximum. And what we actually do is we rank for the highest intent keywords across social search, for the first 300 slots. And so if people search those keywords, for boudoir photo shoot in Seattle on social, the first 300 slots are taken up by us. And as a result, let's say that flows onto Google as well, and it dominates. We're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well. And so anytime anyone in our city searches on social or Google, dude, literally the first 30 pages on Google, at least, they can only find us because it's basically like 10 organic slots per page, and literally 30 pages full of us. And it's our competitors literally got to go to page 31 to even find us in the first place. And dude, we already know 80% of searchers don't even go to page 2. They're page 1 only, so they ain't going to page 31. And so we're essentially the only one that boudoir photo shoot buyers can find, which means whose business is growing? Our business is growing because we're dominating search everywhere for the highest intent keywords. People searching for boudoir photo shoots now, in Seattle now. We're closest to the money now. And we're growing. Everyone else is disappearing. They're shrinking. And again, that's the only thing that I've seen that successfully can outcompete market saturation in the short term and in the long term, because it actually turns into brand in the long term anyways. So this is some magic stuff we got here. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. And a bonus of this is we're actually kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because again, approximately 80% of Google searches never even make it to page two. They're page one search only. So more people we kick off, more buyers never even see them, the fewer boudoir photographers we've been price shopped against. Awesome. That's kind of an extra initial benefit from utilizing SQ methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And our GBC recommended level is to hit a minimum of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google, because that means we're kicking out 2 or 3 boudoir photographers from page one we can be price shopped or compared against that are 80% of buyers ain't ever going to see them anyway, because they ain't never going to hit page two. And so if we got 3 slots on page one, we're looking way better than all those that have 1 slot, which is basically going to be everyone else. Going to look way more trustworthy. Kind of subconsciously, buyers going to think, oh, why is Google recommending this person 3 times? We better check them out and maybe not even check out the other people on page one. And then 3 slots better than 2 slots, because yeah, there's a small chance another competitor may have 2 slots on page one. But if we successfully outcompete them, dude, guess what? I mean, if we got 3 slots, we're looking better than them anyway. So we're looking better than all competitors with 0 slots or 1 slot or 2 slots. We're looking way better than that. That's boudoir search visibility. We also know that boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, BSV, is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. This is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation, the dual horns, market saturation, and page one, the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. Thankfully, we now have a solution. S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility, and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, my results here using S-cubed methodology for myself, because yes, I invented it. I want to rank for the keyword BLCS boudoir. Okay, I used it over 10 days. My results got slot 1, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. No website necessary. And so I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google search in 10 days, purely by using S-cubed methodology. Now, the main event here, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business, check out its local search, city search, see if we got any BSS, see if we're in the GBC recommended minimums. All right, so we're going to Henderson, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, let's see, Henderson, Nevada. Henderson, Nevada. All right, so let's see what we got. Nope. Nope. All right, we got 0 out of 10 for Henderson, Nevada, so we got BSS there. And now we're going to Las Vegas. All right, let's go. All right, so let's check this. All right, we got one. There we go. Boom, we got one. All right, so we got 1 out of 10. All right, so going back to our. All right, so local search Henderson. What's that? Is that part of Las Vegas? I believe that's my best guess. So we're at 0 out of 10 slots there. So we got BSS. We're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. Las Vegas, we got 1 out of 10. So we still do have BSS with boudoir search sameness. And we also are not meeting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, you got BS boudoir search sameness. So you're at 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google for local search and city search. Or even, you haven't reached a 3 out of 10 GBC minimum, recommended minimum. And you now understand page 1 equality was a false belief. You're like, oh yeah, now that I think about it, actually it doesn't make sense. We can have as many slots on page 1 as we want, as we'll put in the effort for. And you understand market saturation, people buy new iPhones become boudoir photographers, new cameras become new boudoir photographers, but now there's a special third option, which is AI taking more and more people's job every single day. I mean, there's going to be more and more people entering the market, no job, becoming boudoir photographers because they already got the iPhone as a camera. Throwing up their website, throwing up their Google My Business profile, posting in the mom groups, and actually, potentially pushing us off page 1. So you're going to see that more and more. And you're seeing S-cubed methodology is the only thing out there that we can see that actually effectively renders market saturation not a non-issue if we successfully use S-cubed methodology. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 organic page 1 slots on Google, because that's a result of saturating social search on all the search platforms already. That's simply the outcome. You want boudoir search visibility. And you also understand kind of the back-end bonuses of using S-cubed methodology, which is kind of the more thematic theme keyword columns we attach to our brand, kind of our usernames across social. The increased probability A, we show up here in AI search overview or AI overview, because we're getting these thematic keyword columns all built around us. And AI knows it because of it's pulling everything from social search, from Google. And so you want that higher chance of being here in the AI overview, kind of like the first main recommendation. It's kind of a bonus of using S-cubed methodology. And then the second bonus is you actually want the higher chance of showing up recommended for AI search, ChatGPT search, Claude search, and Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, people using AI search, which I haven't done in Google search, actually click and read a link in like a year. It's been all AI search. I'll use the Google AI mode feature. And so you're seeing all that. You want to achieve all that with S-cubed methodology. And you also know you want to be a first mover with this in your city, because you know that the more momentum, kind of the earlier you start, A, you'll give me exclusive leads for the city. B, kind of the thematic keyword columns that we'd start creating, these have momentum. It's not like ads where you just stop spending and they vanish. You lose your one slot Google, your Google keyword slot. Who cares about that if we can hit 6, 7, 8 out of 10 page one Google slots for the highest intent keywords? But we're actually building momentum in the background, because what we do to saturate social is kind of our strategy persists. It still exists even when no ad spend's being put behind it. So we're kind of building these thematic keyword columns in the background, higher chance we get recommended AI search. And you want to build these columns, kind of invisible thematic keyword columns, before all your competitors start to do it, because that will entrench you page one on Google, and maybe also bleed over into page two domination on Google and all search, all social platforms, and kind of prevent any new boudoir photographers coming into the market from ever ranking on page one, and also prevent them from ever catching up to all these thematic keyword columns you have attached to you that cause you to be recommended in AI search. And you also recognize if someone else starts using S-cubed methodology with me first, you would then have to figure out how to recreate our proprietary methodology, and then you'd have to equal our output doing it correctly to even keep pace with us and our competitor we're working with, and your competitor we're working with. And then you'd actually have to outwork us to overtake our momentum we've already been building up invisible momentum with your competitor. So if you want all those outcomes, then shoot me a DM when the hospital opens for new patient intake. So hospital's closed right now, not taking any patients. No matter what you do, you can work with me. I will open new patient intake when I want to open new patient intake. And so if you want all these benefits, S-cubed methodology is the solution for you. Shoot us a DM when we do open for new patient intake, and we will see. I'll ask you some questions. We will see if you qualify.